Hi, everybody. Love is in the air here at the Crossin' Kin Garage. Welcome to Crossin' Kin, your place for great video log, expertise, and insight, wisdom, I might even say. But better yet, we've got advice for you for your Valentine's great couples moments.
I'm Kristen.
I'm Randy.
And we are doing a top 10 best TV couples.
Now, these are our choices, okay? These are based on television shows that we have seen. We know all about Friends. We know all about How I Met Your Mother. We know all about all of these.
Every stupid teenage drama that there is.
Stupid is a little bit harsh,
okay,
but you know, we know about some of these characters out there.
Epic romances
Absolutely.
from other shows.
And
we both needed to see.
Salute those, but
we both needed to have seen most of these shows.
I haven't seen How I Met Your Mother. I've not seen all of Friends. Big Bang certainly needs a shout out for its couples, you know, and so, but we have chosen to go a little bit further back, not necessarily always, but a little bit further back in the pantheon of television romance. And as romance and love is in the air, we want to salute our top picks for the greatest television couples.
If you can't tell, this is a Valentine's Day episode. This should be airing close to Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day to all of you.
We hope you and your loved one or loved ones, celebrate love. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic love. Just celebrate the fact that you've got family around. And it's candy! Those of you who are diabetic understand my exclamation. We can't have candy that much.
But today we are talking about romantic love and technically 15 of the best couples. As always, we have 5 honorable mention couples.
Our honorable mention couples, they're great couples. Don't get us wrong. They're just not our top 10 favorites. So, I'll go ahead and get started on that list. Luke and Lorelai is the romantic couple from the Gilmore Girls.
They were will they, won't they, and then on again, off again. Bless their hearts, they had such communication problems, but you know what? We still kind of love them and always rooted for them.
Next, we have Wesley and Lopez.
Wesley and then detective now, Angela Lopez from the television show Rookie. They too were kind of enemies to lovers and are pretty much the most solid couple on the show. They've been through a lot, including kidnapping and extortion.
A great couple. Make sure that you go check out The Rookie.
On Hulu.
Castle and Beckett from the television show Castle.
Will they,
won't they? Yes, they did. Well, they're not. And they jumped the shark when they got married.
It got so complicated, and then because the actors' relationship off-screen fizzled and just imploded, the relationship on-screen suffered for it.
And that, again, jumped the shark. Sometimes that happens. Kinsey and Deeks.
From NCIS Los Angeles. These two were the flirty partners, the will they, won't they.
And we're glad they did.
And we're thrilled that they did. They wound up going the distance.
Our last will they, won't they couple
honorable mention.
Have they honorable mentioned of the 5 that we mentioned is Grissom and Sarah Seidel from CSI, the original CSI.
They were less will they, won't they, and more on again, off again throughout the original series. But when the series came back as CSI Vegas, they were a very happily married couple and delightfully strong and just adorable together.
Yes.
William Peterson and Georgia Fox have wonderful chemistry together. They are precious. All right, now on with the list proper. Number 10. First up, we have John and Maureen Robinson from both the Lost in Space from the 60s as well as the Netflix reboot of Lost in Space.
Now, we have to tell you, the 60s, so campy. It was the Batman age, okay? It is so campy. Alien vegetables even at one point.
Yes.
But it did get us so many great moments, some of which are the just tender moments between the Robinsons.
And then in the new Netflix show, I say new. It's not really new anymore. It got canceled after 3 seasons like the original. But in the Netflix reboot, John and Maureen have a far more complicated relationship, but they fix it through season 1 and then are solid for the rest of the series.
We love the reboot. Absolutely love it.
Yes, sir.
Number 9 on our list. Okay, this may or may not be a show that you've seen.
We've talked about it before, though, I believe.
We fell in love with it after it was canceled. We didn't catch this show until it was available on streaming. And it's the television show Scorpion. And no, we did not pick the main couple that were on again, off again, off again, on again. We picked the one that was solid, Toby, and his later on wife, Happy. We love this couple. Their dynamic is just out of this world good.
They never become toxic like Walter and Paige do.
It's just, it is the, especially in the later seasons, their relationship is the bedrock and the foundation for the show. They really do a great job of supporting what is going on and always supporting each other too. Great job.
Wonderful. All right, up next at number 8, we have Durin and Disa for Rings of Power.
Who?
Yes, we've talked about them briefly in our Rings of Power review. Check that out here above my head. Durin and Disa are probably, even though they're dwarves, they're the most human characters on the show.
Now, this is a throwback to the Lord of the Rings mythology and the fantasy world set up by J.R.R. Tolkien. They are dwarves, and this goes back to the new Amazon series, The Rings of Power, which we are... Come on, Amazon, bring it. We're ready for season 2.
It should be coming fairly soon. I think either late this year or early next year.
And
we're hoping.
We can't wait to see this couple who are absolutely phenomenal.
They're precious. Every time they came on screen, a smile came to my face. Disa puts him in his place when needed, and he listens.
Yeah, and
Durin actually listens to his wife. It's delightful.
It does a really good job of showing that the dwarves are multifaceted in their emotions. So many times that you just see them angry, push forward, push forward, push forward.
That is true.
You can't toss a dwarf, that kind of thing. But this really does a great job of balancing the dwarves out. And every scene that they're in, they steal.
Yes.
Absolutely every scene they steal.
Delightfully wonderful couple.
Coming in at number 7 for nearly 20 years now.
Over 20 years.
That's true.
Over 20 years. I think they're going into season 21 this year. It should actually be premiering soon.
Very soon. We have been fans of NCIS. We caught this late. So we caught back up, and now we're every weekers. And one of the enduring qualities of this film, of this TV show, is that it does a good job of relationship building. We also mentioned it last week, but we also want to do another shout out to David McCallum, who passed away, ripe old age, incredible Hollywood actor. Incredible.
Beloved by his family, beloved by his cast.
It seems and appears by all imaginings that this man was just liked everywhere he went. Part of the film The Great Escape with Paul Newman and many other.
Man from U.N.C.L.E.
The original television show with Robert Mitchum.
And NCIS for 20 years.
For 20 years. A mainstay.
The only cast member that was in the spin-off from JAG to the season before the one that should be premiering soon.
But we salute David McCallum. We just appreciate his body of work, and we especially appreciate his work on NCIS. But he is not a couple.
No.
The couple that we want to talk about, another bedrock, another foundation, is that relationship between McGee and Delilah. They have every time she is in one of the shows, their relationship is just, it's incredible.
And what's even better, they've gone through the ringer.
As a couple on TV.
As a couple.
Yeah. She
got injured in an explosion while doing her job and was confined to the wheelchair. McGee was there for her every single step of the way. They got married. They've dealt with being held hostage together before. And then they had twins while the hospital they were having their twins in was under siege. So, I mean, they've gone through it all.
A fail-safe couple, they're a great example of matrimony in a universe that really has a lot of relationship examples, but not a whole lot of matrimony relationship.
Or if they are married, they hate each other.
Exactly.
Kind of
Number 7, our McGee and Delilah.
Oh, number 6.
I can't speak to this one as much. I watched the first 3 or 4 seasons of this and checked out.
You pieced out halfway through season 4, mostly because this is not a show my mother enjoys watching, and Dad doesn't really enjoy watching shows without Mom. So this is a show that more Katie and I
because Tammy and I are a good couple. Not Hollywood couple, but we're a good couple.
They're the best real life couple I know. This couple is Fitz and Simmons from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There have been videos made analyzing this couple, and I might link 1 or 2 down in the description below. But guys, this is a couple that dives through holes in the universe to save each other. They go through torture. They travel through space and time to be together. And when the universe seems to have cursed them to be separated, they fight back against the universe just to be together. And it's so beautiful, their relationship. They start off as best friends, migrate to adorable couple. They wind up married in season 5, and then in season 7, at the end of it all, spoilers if you've not seen the end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they are married, have a 3-year-old daughter, and are settled down in Scotland and are as happy as can be. So
no longer Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No longer Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., although Simmons seems to be doing some work for S.H.I.E.L.D. on the side. But they are a delightful couple. Even before they were a couple, they bickered like an old married couple sometimes. They were pure delight. Ian DeCasticker and Elizabeth Henstridge. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Elizabeth Henstridge had the absolute best chemistry. They took 2 characters that could have been the run-of-the-mill nerds and made them the heart of the show. And Fitzsimmons, they're one of my favorite couples of all time.
Okay. At number 5, we have the television show Bones. The titular characters are FBI detective, agent, special agent, Seeley Booth, and
his partner,
forensic anthropologist
Dr. Temperance Brennan.
This couple it's one of those they are
opposites
never going to be. And then later on, they did one of the best jobs I've ever seen of incorporating a couple that you're will they won't they into they do, and then they did.
And they kept it. That's what's beautiful. It stayed on the air for 5 years.
After.
It did well. And I attribute that to David Boreanaz and Emily Deschanel's beautiful chemistry.
Yeah, and this is one of those shows, you know, I started to put Moonlighting on this list, but that show jumped the shark hard after the 2 title characters got together. This didn't. Booth and Brennan they just do a phenomenal job of showing how opposites can attract and how you work through relationships.
Because neither character changes after they get together. They're still Booth and Brennan. They're just Booth and Brennan, but now they kiss.
They're one because they have a child and everything like that. They later get married and everything. But Kristen's absolutely right. The chemistry between the main actors is just phenomenal, and this show did not jump the shark when its main characters got together. In fact,
had some goofy episodes, but what show doesn't?
It enhanced it a little bit. I mean, even though that that tension was not there. There's still enough tension just because their characters are so diametrically opposed. That is the factor that maintains what you want in this love type chemistry tension that was building up. And it's just beautifully done. Beautifully done. Congratulations,
it's
Bones.
Lovely.
It's a great show. If you've not seen it, I believe it's available to stream on Hulu or perhaps Fox's streaming.
Hulu or Freevee, I think both have it right now. I think Freevee through Amazon Prime might have it currently.
Freevee.
Right. Number 4, another procedural couple and another kind of will they won't they tension couple. We have Jamie Reagan and Adit Eddie Jenko. This is a pairing that, like, pretty much from the minute they were put together in their squad car, everybody was like, we want this to happen! We want it to happen so badly. She was introduced as Jamie's partner in season 4.
That's what I was thinking.
And then they got together at the end of season 8. So they spent 4 years building this best friendship and then this will they, won't they of it all. Because at the beginning it was like, oh, we are absolutely not going to put them together. They both seemed to think it was ridiculous. And then as we got closer and closer and closer, it's like, we can't deny the chemistry between the actors. And it's just, oh my goodness. Blue Bloods is the show. I'm so sorry I didn't say that from the off. The show is Blue Bloods. And these two are a phenomenal couple.
It's entering its like 14th or 15th season as well.
It's 14th, I believe, and it is going to be its last.
Right.
The beginning of season 14 is going to air in 2 parts. The first part is going to air soon. Since this is February, it should be airing soon. And then the last bit will air in the fall. But this couple is... They're also a little bit of an opposites attract, but there are some common bits with Jamie and Eddie where it's just like, oh yeah, they vibe on that same level. And like a lot of it, some of it is like he rescues her, she rescues him. Like they're very much equals in this relationship. Like it's never like he's her white knight. It's we are each other's white knight.
I think one of the things that Blue Bloods does is paint this in a very realistic relationship manner. Mm-hmm. You see in Jamie and Eddie what you would probably see in your own home as far as their relationship goes. That give and take, back and forth, that fun times, and then those I would do anything for my love moments come across as well. And they consolidated into the Blue Bloods universe and into their season. But that's Eddie and Jamie from Blue Bloods.
Number 3.
We've got top 3 coming your way. Next is...
our only animated couple. Well, our only couple that got introduced in animation.
You may be saying, where's Fred and Wilma? Well, I mean, Fred and Wilma Flintstone were a great Hollywood couple. But we kind of relegated this to live action-ish with this one exception. And we love... You've often heard of us talk about our love for the Star Wars animated universe.
We're going to have a whole episode talking about our love of the animated versus live action coming in Star Wars month in May.
We love Clone Wars. We love Rebels. We love the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
We just love what that did
for Star Wars.
In propelling that narrative, in relating and giving us new characters.
Without Rebels, we wouldn't have Ahsoka.
Without Rebels, you would not have Ahsoka. That is true. And speaking of Rebels, our number 3 characters that are a couple are Kanan and Hera.
Now, we didn't really get to see a lot of them as a proper romantic couple. Like, they were not walking around holding hands or arm in arm every single day. But, like, in the very first episode, she calls him Love. And Hera calls Kanan Love throughout all 4 seasons. So it is clear they are in a romantic relationship of some form. And honestly, they play off of each other so beautifully.
This is the only one of our entire list of couples that you really do have to be watching and reading between the lines. Kristen's absolutely right. You have to be reading in between the lines when you watch Rebels, because their relationship takes such a backstage to all of the other things that are going on. Now, what I think they have done in Ahsoka in bringing some of those Rebels characters on around, we won't spoil that for you. Go watch Ahsoka after you watch Rebels.
After you watch Rebels, yes.
All on Disney Plus. We highly recommend that for you Star Wars fans. We would highly recommend the fact, if as you're watching Rebels, watch it with your loved one and just
pay attention to Kanan and Hera.
Pay attention to their relationship.
Just watch the subtle looks and the subtle nods and the way they talk to each other. It is very plain that they are in a relationship. They just never clearly define until the very last season how deep of a relationship it is.
It really does a good job of defining what a relationship could be in a time of war. So, I mean, that's our number 3, Kanan and Hera.
Number 2, we have Snow and Charming from Once Upon a Time. Now, we talked briefly about this couple in our It's a Wonderful Life recast it due to the fact that I put the actors that played Snow and Charming in the leads of George and Mary Bailey, Josh Dallas and Jennifer Goodwin, who are married in real life.
We just think this could potentially be if they do the right job. This could be a phenomenal Hollywood power couple. They're so cute together. They're adorable.
They have 2 sons. They're and I've seen family pictures of them like in magazines. They're all so cute together.
They take the Snow White mythology from old classic
fairy tales
and bring that forward into what really amounts to being a great, fantastical storytelling in the television show Once Upon a Time.
But they're not like this picture perfect couple. They fight, they have issues, but they go through it. Like, they always work through whatever problem, and the line that is associated with them, the I will find you, I will always find you, like, they're kind of like Fitz and Simmons. They constantly get separated, but they constantly fight to find each other.
And that's the whole nature of the television show Once Upon a Time. It takes all of these classic fairy tales and just turns it all upside down, puts it into a modern day context, and then freaks everybody out.
Once Upon a Time is a wonderful show, though. Do not let Daddy's It Freaks Everybody Out deter you from checking out this show. All 7 seasons are available on Disney Plus.
And we love the show.
Snow White and Charming are seasons 1 through 6. Pretty much season 7 was a slight revamp, but Snow and Charming are still very much, their presence is felt, or the lack of their presence is also felt.
Yeah. Number 1, you have to be a Leverage fan.
A grifter is what we are called, sir.
A grifter is what we are called, sir. So,
we've talked a little bit about Leverage before in our Dean demo. Check this out up here, where we kind of broke down a bunch of the Dean Devlin projects. And a lot of those projects were with TNT.
Something else that you need to be aware of is Freevee, we mentioned that earlier, has now currently a reboot of the television show Leverage called Leverage Redemption,
which has just been renewed for season 3 and is actually moving to Amazon Prime.
All of the stars save one are back for this, and the couple that is at our number 1 position permeate this new reboot as they do the original television shows. Our number 1 couple for this time of love from television are Parker and Hardison from the television show Leverage.
Played by Beth Riesgraf and Aldis Hodge. Alec Hardison is played by Aldis Hodge. And oh my goodness, they're so good. They have an unbelievable chemistry, Beth and Aldis do. And just the characters, like even in season 1, they don't like officially get together as a couple until I think the last season or the next to last season. But like in season 1, like Hardison and Parker like bond over the fact they were in the foster system together, or not together, but they're both foster kids. Hardison pretty much becomes Parker's coach to humanity. Like, he teaches her how to interact with humans, which Parker is not very good at. A lot of storylines do carry over into following episodes. There are tons of callbacks to previous episodes. The show is amazing. It's probably one of my favorite, if not my actual favorite show of all time. And Hardison and Parker are a huge, huge part of that. One of my favorite episodes, I think it is in the 3rd season, it's called The Gravedigger Job. And Aldous Hodge gets to do a lot of amazing acting because he's buried alive for the entirety of this episode. And what keeps him calm, what gets him through it? Parker, who spends an inordinate amount of her life in tight spaces because she's a thief and crawls around in air vents on a regular basis. Parker coaching him how to breathe through being buried alive in this coffin, and her saying, "You're not allowed to go because I need you," and Hardison just holding his breath until the team can get to him, and just the utter beautiful relief of both of them after he gets out of there. It is a beautiful relationship.
And these guys are supporting actors.
Yeah, they're not the main couple in the show.
They are part of a ensemble cast, but they, especially in the first season, they're supporting characters, all of which become main characters by the end of the original television show run, and all of which are main characters in the reboot of the television show Leverage. We highly, again, it's one of those shows that we came to after it had already been canceled, and we found it on streaming one day, or we found it somehow or another.
I found it on Netflix while keeping my nephew asleep. I introduced it to my family after I got the first season on my birthday, and then we proceeded to watch it like 3 times in a year.
And it's we could go back and we could watch it now, even though we probably know just about all of the storylines at this point.
We could probably sit there and quote the entire first season.
It is one of those shows that at the Crossing King Garage we absolutely adore. So,
and Hardison and Parker are a very big reason for that.
Speaking of adoration, we hope that you enjoyed our top 10-ish countdown of the couples that we think are some of the most precious in television history. Now, we know, please comment, let us know some
Who
people
did we leave out
that we didn't think of. I mean, yeah, I know, Fred and Wilma, I get it, okay?
Bandit and Chili from Bluey.
Bandit and Chili from Bluey. This is the season of love. We highly encourage you to make the most out of the people who are around you that you adore. Yes, it can be the one that you're romantically involved with, but it doesn't have to be. It can just be the people who are around you. Love the ones that you're with.
Thank you for joining us here today in the Crossing King Garage.
We hope you have a great Halloween. It could be Halloween for some of you. Have a happy Valentine's Day celebration for you and yours. Enjoy the folks that are around you. And from the Crossing King Garage, we want to tell you how much we appreciate you.
And love you.
And love you. That's it.
I'm Kristen.
I'm Randy.
And we hope y'all have a happy Valentine's Day. We send you much love from the Crossing King Garage, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.